Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Don Stark about that 90s show, which is streaming now worldwide on Netflix. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being here.
Hey there, hi there, oh there, Petey. Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you. What is that first conversation like about the potential of Bob returning for a new show in the world of that 70s show? I can't even imagine what kind of call that might be like.
Yeah, well, it was very exciting. I mean, because I had known that the show was, going to be done, and it was long before I got a call. I mean, they were deep into doing it. And as soon as the news came out that they were doing that 90s show, family members said, "Oh, man, this is so great." And I said, "Everybody pump the brakes. Take it easy." Just because they're announcing that they're doing it. My name isn't Kurtwood or Deborah Jo, and let's just ease into it. But I was excited, regardless, I was excited that the show was going to happen because I think it's wonderful. It was great doing that 70s show, and it's the same people, all the same producers and the executive producers.
Same sets,
although they had to rebuild them.
But like a lot of the same, like the same, it feels like it's the same set. Yeah,
it is the same. It is exactly the same. And the only thing that's changed is some of the colors. And now in the basement, the furniture that's now in the basement was the living room furniture in that 70s show, has replaced the other stuff that was in the basement. So there you go.
Does the mindset change a little, that because you're playing Bob, but now Bob is a grandfather, right? Yeah. Basically. So it's like a whole different thing. Does the mindset change a lot with the character when you came on for your episodes, or are you just like, all right, Bob's back and it's 20 years later?
Yeah. You know what? Bob is back. Bob was never a person who thought he was his age.
Yeah.
During that 70s show, Bob was always trying to be that guy that was cool and was hip, and so that didn't change. And actually, when I saw the script, Bob had gone off to Florida, and so I talked to Greg Metler, and then to Wardrobe, Melina, and Johnny, and I said, coming from Florida, I think it would be great. Bob is still that same guy that's trying to be cool, to wear the Sonny Crockett suit from Miami Vice, with the rolled up sleeves and the white suit. And we decided to keep the hair and the sideburns because, that's Bob. But here it is. Bob is still, hanging on to that cool thing that he's got going. So Bob hasn't grown up, and neither have I. So we're good.
I mean, when you look back at that 70s show, one of my favorite kind of openings is everyone singing the song, Hello, Wisconsin, you're all in the car. Bob with Kitty and Red, still one of the greatest opening of a sitcoms of all time. Like, I just love
that. Yeah, I was the perfect foil for Red, and still am, And
we don't waste any time, by the way, with the Bob and Red. We don't waste any time getting back to that, don't we, in the show?
Oh, yeah. It's, it doesn't matter if you see somebody an hour ago, a day ago, a year ago, all that, whatever that relationship is, as soon as you get together, you're in hell again.
What was it like when you get there and everything, your granddaughter, Leia is home for, the summer with a new group of friends that are using the basement. You and Red still have that kind of, thing going on, whatever you like to call it, like the rivalry or anything. What's it like when you're actually like officially filming these scenes with the new cast and officially part of that 90s show?
Oh, it was great. It was like coming home.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Deborah Jo and her work. They're just the best. And, it was like just sliding into the relationship and the sets being the same. It just felt like, I was back in time, yet current with a whole new group of kids who are being mentored by the best mentors you could have, and that's Kurtwood and Deborah Jo. And they were all so wonderful and eager, and brought back all the memories of how things started out with that 70s show. And they were so close. They would be getting together. If they weren't doing a scene together, they were off hanging out, usually in the set that was the hub. They were still hanging out together while other scenes were going on. And, of course, my singing prowess had to come back because that's what America wants to see.
Karaoke machine might or might not be in that 90s show. Let's just say that, right? It's fun, right? Because it's out now, but we kind of want people to go in, like you see the trailer and you just watch it. It's good to go in fresh for shows like this, right?
Yeah, it is. You want people to see it and to be fresh. And what's so great about this show is what it did was capture the beauty of that 70s show, which was the writing, and the relationships. You knew who everybody was right away. You knew who the cool kid was. You knew who the kid that was trouble. You knew the innocent kid. You knew the good-looking kid that maybe wasn't the smartest. Turns out he was probably the smartest of any of us there.
Yeah.
And and the dynamic of all of them getting together. It's about coming of age. That's what made the show so great. It wasn't all the stunt things that we did, which were more in the beginning of that 70s show. I mean, I was always in that 70s because that was Bob. But as the show went along, it was just about what your life is like growing up, whether you had a basement or you were in a garage or you hung out at the park or behind the school or whatever. It was that first kiss, the first love, the first heartbreak, the first beer, the first time in the basement.
Shout out to Bob's hair in that 70s show. Could we just give a shout out? Yes. Could we? Yes.
Right there. That is the original. That's the original wig right there. I think I need to comb out, but I'm okay. How desperate am I to hang on to the past? Oh, I'm a sad, sad man.
A very quick that 70 show, 90 show question for you. You've worked on a lot of projects. Three Ninjas was like a big part of my childhood. So I just have to say that. You show up in some of those movies, which is awesome. You play in the Three Ninjas Kick Back, you are the for the baseball game, right? You're the umpire.
I'm the umpire who's like chewing tobacco.
Yeah.
And instead of chewing tobacco, I decided I'm going to chew black licorice.
Oh, my goodness.
That really has kind of an explosive impact on your colon. And so, so that happened. And then I did another Three Ninja movie before that.
Yes. And you were like a cop or a sheriff or something, right? Yeah. Or something like that. No, but I remember your line where because there was a big brawl and you're like, I am rescheduling this game if you all decide to grow up or something like that. No, you have to understand though, you think about that, Three Ninjas, that 70s show, that 90s show, you were like, you're part of that was a big part of my childhood. Is it cool to think about that years later, people are still talking about those projects don't really have a shelf life? That's a pretty special feeling from a storyteller perspective.
From a therapy standpoint, I'm so sorry, Petey. Look what I've done to you.
for the movies and the 1970 show, Bob. Said like the Halloween episode of that 70s show where they were doing like their spin of the movies, where the old movies,
Rear Window.
Psycho, Rear Window,
Yep.
the beers. Remember that? No, it was great, and I can't wait for people to see that 90s show because it's just amazing and it's so great. I was so excited to see Bob back, and I think that's going to be the reaction. And I really hope that people enjoy the nostalgia, but also the new generation as well. I feel like that's a good combination.
Yeah, well, I certainly hope that it gets picked up. I have all the confidence in the world. I think they've got a really talented group of new actors, and I think magic is going to strike again. And with Deborah Jo and Kurtwood, being their leader, they did pretty darn good with all that 70s show kids growing up and going on, and it's so hard to believe that now they have children, and
No, absolutely. And that 90s show is streaming worldwide now on Netflix. Don, it was an honor and privilege to speak with you. Thank you so much for your time. Seriously.
You too, Petey, and I apologize for any mental damage I've done to you over the years.
Well, no, thank you for the fun memories. Those were the best. And
Well, there you
show.
go.
And thank you for bringing out Bob's hair. That was the best thing ever. I really.
Well, wait a minute. You got to see something else. You see this? This bow tie right here?
Yeah.
That was the bow tie in the special made tuxedo for the wedding episode where I wore a Packers when I was getting remarried to Midge.
So, that is amazing. You have all the memorabilia. That's amazing. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. That 90s show is streaming now worldwide on Netflix. Until next time, this is Don Stark and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.